Most people don't realize how important omega-3 fatty acids are until their health starts slipping. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 95% of children in the U.S. and about 2/3 of adults don't get enough omega-3s in their diet. That's a serious issue, because omega-3s aren't just another nutrition buzzword. They are essential fats that play a key role in almost every major system in your body. Your brain, heart, eyes, and even your immune system depend on these fats to function properly. Omega-3s are a type of polyunsaturated fat, meaning they have a chemical structure that keeps your cell membranes flexible and functional. There are 3 main types of omega-3s you need to know about: ALA, EPA, and DHA. ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, is the plant-based form of omega-3. You can find it in foods like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and plant oils like canola or soybean oil. But here's the catch. ALA isn't very efficient when it comes to converting into the 2 active forms your body actually uses: EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid. That conversion process is limited. Only a small percentage of ALA turns into EPA and even less into DHA, which means if you're only getting your omega-3s from plants, you're likely falling short. EPA and DHA are what give omega-3s their powerful health benefits. You get these mostly from marine sources: fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and tuna. These 2 forms are directly absorbed and used by your body. DHA, in particular, is a major structural component of your brain, your eyes, and even your sperm cells. That's why pregnant women are often advised to take DHA supplements. It's essential for the development of the baby's brain and vision. EPA, on the other hand, is particularly powerful when it comes to fighting inflammation in the body, which is one of the root causes of most chronic diseases today. So what exactly happens when you don't get enough omega-3s? Well, let's break it down. At a basic level, omega-3 deficiency can lead to dry skin, fatigue, poor memory, mood swings, and even depression. Studies have shown that low levels of DHA in the brain are linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline and even Alzheimer's disease. That's because DHA supports communication between brain cells and helps reduce the buildup of harmful proteins that are associated with neurodegenerative disorders. On the heart health front, EPA and DHA help reduce triglyceride levels in the blood, lower blood pressure slightly, and prevent plaque from building up in your arteries. Several studies, including one published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, have shown that people who regularly consume omega-3s from fish have a lower risk of heart attacks and strokes. They also help prevent the blood from clotting too much, which reduces the risk of sudden cardiac events. When it comes to inflammation, omega-3s shine. Inflammation isn't always bad. It's your body's natural response to injury or infection. But chronic, low-grade inflammation is harmful. It's been linked to everything from arthritis to cancer to metabolic syndrome. EPA interferes with the production of inflammatory chemicals called cytokines and prostaglandins, essentially dialing down the inflammation levels in your body over time. This is especially beneficial for people dealing with autoimmune diseases, like rheumatoid arthritis or inflammatory bowel disease. Let's talk numbers. The National Institutes of Health recommends that adult men aim for about 1.6 grams of omega-3s per day, while women should get around 1.1 grams. These are general guidelines and don't necessarily reflect the higher intake needed for therapeutic benefits. The American Heart Association recommends eating 2 servings of fatty fish per week. That's roughly 6 to 8 ounces total. If you're not eating fish regularly, omega-3 supplements can help fill the gap, but there are caveats. Fish oil supplements are the most common form, usually containing a mix of EPA and DHA. They're widely available, but not all supplements are created equal. Some contain lower concentrations, while others may be oxidized or contain impurities like mercury or PCBs. That's why it's important to choose a supplement that's third-party tested and labeled as purified or pharmaceutical grade. Another option is algae oil, which is plant-based and especially useful for vegetarians and vegans. Algae is actually where fish get their omega-3s from in the first place, so it's a clean and direct source of DHA. However, more is not always better. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration recommends not exceeding 5 grams per day of EPA and DHA combined from supplements. High doses can thin your blood too much, increasing the risk of bleeding, especially if you're already on blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin. Other mild side effects from too much fish oil include heartburn, diarrhea, smelly sweat, or a fishy aftertaste. If you're thinking about adding supplements to your routine, it's always a good idea to check with a healthcare provider, especially if you're taking medication or have existing health conditions. Now let's go over how to naturally boost your omega-3 intake without relying solely on supplements. First, aim to eat more fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel are some of the best sources. Wild-caught varieties tend to have higher omega-3 levels compared to farmed ones. If you're plant-based, start adding ground flaxseed or chia seeds to your smoothies, oatmeal, or yogurt. You can also cook with flaxseed oil or canola oil. Just keep in mind that plant-based omega-3s may not be enough on their own to meet your DHA and EPA needs. You can also find omega-3s in fortified foods. Some brands of eggs, yogurt, orange juice, soy milk, and even infant formula are enriched with DHA or EPA. Always read the labels to make sure they actually contain meaningful amounts of these fatty acids. Nuts, especially walnuts, are another good option. But again, they mostly contain ALA, which is not as effective unless your body converts it well. If you want a simple strategy, here's what you can do. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. Include a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds daily. Use omega-3 rich oils for cooking, and consider a purified fish oil or algae-based supplement if your diet falls short. This combined approach gives your body access to all 3 omega-3 types and maximizes absorption. Omega-3s are not a miracle cure, but they are foundational to long-term health. Getting enough of them is one of the simplest and most science-backed ways to reduce your risk of chronic disease, support your brain as you age, and protect your heart. If you've been ignoring your omega-3 intake, now's the time to start paying attention. Because at the end of the day, your body can't make these fats on its own. You have to feed it what it needs. And the good news is, once you start, the benefits compound over time.